Aye.
Thank you, Rahim Rashidi with Kurdistan TV. In your opinion, General, after Paris and the Brussels attacks, how important is it the Peshmerga should be armed? How did ISIS originate? Thank you.
I think that's called a leading question in the American court system. And so, if it actually ties very closely, though, thank you, to what I just said, all right? So, and this is me being critical of policy, which is not quite the traditional intelligence officer's role, but here goes. So if you believe what I just said about Iraq not existing, all right, why would you insist on approval from Baghdad before you send arms to Erbil? Right? And so my instincts, and look, I understand it. If I'm still back in government and still in the sit room, one has to be careful what one says and how one does things. But my instincts are, if this is all about a new structure in the Middle East, I think a pretty useful building block would be the Kurds. Okay. Now I realize all of a sudden all my Turkish friends are getting concerned, and Iraqi friends and Syrian friends and so on. But if the old is gone, all right, and the new is yet to be created, I think a good conversation to have is, what is the future of the Kurdish people and the Kurdish Autonomous Region and the other Kurdish Autonomous Region, the one in Syria now? So I would not constrain myself to the old models. And then how did ISIS come about? Long history. The most recent one I will tie to the American departure in 2011. And as we left, this is not that we would have defeated ISIS, we're going to use our kids to kill them. No, it was simply that we were an effective stopper in a bottle that was still unsettled. That while we were there, the three factions in Iraq still distrusted, each of the three distrusted the other two, but were reasonably convinced that as long as the Americans were there in some numbers, the other two weren't going to eat them. Okay? And as soon as we left, they all suddenly feared that they were going to eat them and began to move to their respective corners and act in ways they thought were defensive, but were perceived by the other two factions as being horrifically offensive. And that created the seed, the petri dish for ISIS to resurrect. So.